Greetings and salutations, and this is Tech Plays here, back with more Psychonauts 2. And yeah, we are continuing on to what might be one of my favorite levels. It's in my top 3, I would say, but it's not my favorite. There are 2 levels later on I like more. Sorry, I'm adjusting the mic. Apparently I didn't have it adjusted quite right. There are 2 levels in the second half of the game I prefer over this one, but this is probably my third favorite. Boss included. Like, the other 2 levels, if I recall, one of them had a boss. One of them has a boss, I'm pretty sure.
Thanks to
the other doesn't. But there are 2 levels later on I prefer over this one, but this is definitely my third favorite. This is a level that, like, well, we kind of already saw it from the outside. It combines the themes of, like, a hospital and casino, and it makes it. This game gets really creative with, like, its level design and stuff. And I think this is, like, the first instance where we're really seeing that. I mean, sure, like, the starter level was really creative. The one for Dr. Lobato's mind that was, like, dentist theme. That was kind of cool, but it was one theme. A lot of these levels kind of combine multiple themes together, either 2 or 3. Some of the best levels do that. And they either do that, or their theme is like a metaphor or representative of something that we'll learn later, or that we already know and needs to be solved. You know, like, the reason why Dr. Lobato's level, it's a great starting level, and I get why it doesn't do that stuff, but it's probably on the lower half of my ranking list if I were to rank all the levels here. I don't really know how I would rank all the levels, because I don't remember all the names of the levels, for one, and if I did that, I would spoil a lot of the future levels by doing that. I'm not going to do that. But I will say this is my third favorite level, and the Dr. Lobato level we did in the first video is probably... It's not in the bottom 3, it's not in the top 3 either. It's like somewhere in the near the bottom of the middle, I would say. Because I think there are 13 levels in this game, if I remember correctly. There's... Hold on, let me look up the list. I need to look up the list. Because I forget. I think it's 13. Is it? No, it might be 9. I'm trying to remember, because, like, I know it's an odd number. Mines and Psychonauts.
That's no good.
2. Because I'm counting mines as the levels, because every other area is treated as sort of a hub area.
Almost had it. I just need to focus a little longer.
Let's go here.
Bet the gastronauts don't have to pinch pennies like this.
Yeah, there's 9. I will say this is number 3 on my list.
I could cut my own.
And Lobato's Labyrinth, which is the one we just went through. Let me look through all of these.
At our current burn rate. That's no good.
Actually, yeah, because I thought there were... Okay, there is... There is, like, more levels than 9, but there's only 9 listed, right? Because there's 2 variants of this level, which I count as 2 separate levels. And then there's 3 variants, 4 variants, actually, of another mine we'll go to later that's counted as 1, 2. But if we count those 4 extra, it is 13, so I do remember why I said 13. And when I count them all individually like that, Lobato's Labyrinth would be, like, the 4th, it'd be 4th from the bottom. But if I counted the mines as a whole, it's probably 2nd to last. There's one mine I didn't care for too much. We'll get to it a little later. Well, I say a little later, but it's in the end game. There is, like... It's not that it's a bad mine or anything. It's just, I feel like it's on par with or slightly worse than Lobato's mine, Lobato's Labyrinth, and... You gotta keep in mind, I do like Lobato's Labyrinth. It's a solid 7 out of 10 level for me, and so is the level that's at the bottom. But the reason there's below everything else is because this game has really high fucking highs. Like, it gets really good. You know, so like me putting them at the bottom 2, Lobato's Labyrinth, and the level I'm not mentioning for spoiler reasons, the reason they're at the bottom is not because they're bad, it's because this game has better, you know? Like, it's really hard to rank the mines. And I don't want to, like, name... I'm going to rank them by, like, the nine names they have and not, like, the extra individual versions of the mines. Because that's the way the game lists them. But if I were to list the individual versions, we would have 3 mines to rank, or 3 levels to rank so far. We'd have both of would have both versions of Hollis's mine and Dr. Lobato's mine. And the other version of Hollis's mine would be at the bottom because it's very short. There's not much going on in it. Yada yada yada. Lobato's mine would be in the middle. This one would be on top. But since we're counting Hollis's mine as a whole, Lobato's Labyrinth's at the bottom, Hollis's mine is at the top. Currently. We only have 2 mines to rank. So that's what we're doing. This is a really good, like, you have no idea. This is a really good... Oh, wait. I feel stupid. I thought we were late. I should have paid more attention to the gameplay. I thought we were later in the mine. No. Okay, so I did just spoil what level we're going to next. Because that was still the first part of Hollis's mine. I just didn't realize because I wasn't paying attention to the gameplay. I was kind of just like talking. Like, I only looked at the gameplay occasionally, and when I did, it was like stuff that I couldn't really tell the difference just by looking at it. And I'm sorry for talking over cutscene. If you want to watch the story for this game, go play it. I would say it's free for PlayStation Plus right now. Just get it on PlayStation. But no, that's gonna be over by the time the video goes up. So.
I'm so glad you changed your mind about the mission, Agent Forsyth. I was nervous about bringing the children, but if you feel that it's safe, then it must be.
It's crucial they find out what these delusionists are up to at the casino. With you handling tactical command, I'd say our probability of mission success has risen 35%.
I'll take those odds. Now, how long till we reach the Lady Luctopus?
We are almost there.
Agent Forsyth, how are you feeling?
Lucky.
Well, we're here. Using a false identity, we've secured a high roller suite to use as our base of operations.
Now, children, you are not to leave the suite. Like most casinos, the Lady Luctopus has a strict no psychics policy.
Weak.
Be happy for this chance to observe Agent Forsyth in action. Teacup, this is Shoehorn. We are nearing position 1.
What? These code names are so stupid. I love them. The code names are so dumb, but I love them for that. Like, this game has some good humor in places. Like, it really does. It's not like Crash Bandicoot funny. It's not Hi-Fi Rush funny. It's not, what's another funny game? It's not Borderlands funny. When I say Borderlands funny, I'm talking about Tales from the Borderlands and Borderlands 2. A little bit of Borderlands 3. I'm mostly talking about side quest in Borderlands 3 because a lot of the main quest humor is really obnoxious.
I left them on my seat, I think.
At least when it involves the main antagonist, it's really obnoxious.
Now here's your first objective. Fetch my dowsing goggles.
Okay, but...
Hurry! Our window of opportunity is closing.
All right, I'll be right back.
This is Daspan. I'm approaching position 1. After you've disabled the side detectors and...
I'm trying to remember which...
What are you doing in there, Sam?
When Agent Forsyth finally glows...
Is Teacup supposed to be Raz, or is it supposed to be Hollis? I haven't figured that out yet.
Everything's good on the mission so far.
Because I know the other 2 code names are Sasha.
Total breakdown?
It's not a breakdown.
Millie?
She's just strategizing.
It just said it. I think it is Millie, but I
After that, Teacup,
no, it's Milla. Milla. Okay. I know the other two codenames are them, but is Teacup... I wasn't paying much attention to the dialogue. Is Teacup, Raz? Or is it Hollis? It's one of the two. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say it's Hollis, because Hollis is the one looking at the screens and communicating with them. But, who knows?
I don't see any dowsing goggles anywhere. I mean, to be fair, I have no idea what they look like. I've actually never even heard of dowsing. Oh no. Agent Forsyth, where
This
are
is
you
the
going?
moment where Raz knew she tricked him. I think she knows, like...
Hollis, what did I do to you?
Rasputin, is that you?
She has to know
Yeah,
a little bit
Sasha,
about, like, what
Agent
Raz
Forsyth
can do,
is missing,
because
but
she
don't worry,
felt the
I'll
need
find her.
Hurry,
to
Rasputin.
get him out
We're
of the
in
room
big
so
trouble
she
here.
can sneak out, right? When she didn't do that with any of the other students. She specifically
I'm on it.
singled him out. So she's got to have an idea of just how much Raz can do.
Did Agent Forsyth say where she was going?
Which begs
She
the
just said she was
question,
going to solve
why is
all
she
of our
so,
problems
like...
once and for all.
That's not ominous.
I
Who
am,
says
like,
that's
wondering
ominous?
this.
Nobody thinks that's ominous.
If she's aware Raz, like, is able to do shit,
Can't go
right?
into the hotel. They have anti-psychic.
Then why was she so panicked
Hollis must
about
have somewhere to
him
hide it.
going on the mission? I can maybe understand the other kids, because, like, she doesn't know what the other kids can do, but if she knows what Raz can do, which is, I feel like is hinted at by the fact that she felt the need to get him out of the room. I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to poke logic in something that I don't think the game was intending to imply. But to me, it implies that Hollis knows Raz is like a more powerful psychonaut than she gives him credit for, right? And like, oh fuck! I keep picking that I can't make it. Forgive me. This is the first time like we're moving across like poles, so you have to like bear with me here. Drop down. Oh, we got out of that fast. Change sides, change past me, change sides. Ah, drop off again. Okay. Jump. Oop, that's not good. That's no bueno. That's no bueno. Also, just realize we're gonna be here for a really long video.
Truman sees all the money I'm going to make.
Hollis, wait!
Mesdames et messieurs, faites vos jours. Ladies and gentlemen, place your bets.
Don't worry, Agent Forsyth. I can fix this.
Mesdames et messieurs, rien ne va plus. Ladies and gentlemen, no more bets.
Now we're entering the half of Hollis's mind that makes me rank it above Lobato's Labyrinth. Because again, if I rank both parts separately, right, the first part would be below it because of how short and simple
It's
it
different.
is. This half is above it by a good margin. Like, it's my third favorite mind in the game for a reason. There's two minds I like better.
Maybe it's not so bad.
We'll get to those. There's a mine that almost is on par with this, but I feel like it's a little below it. We'll get to that. But yeah. Stop it. We're here for a long-ass video. If I see any opportunities to cut the video down in areas I forgot to cut, I'm gonna have to, like, take it. Because for anybody who's watched my channel for a while, I can't do, like, long videos. It's part of why I struggled with live streaming when I tried that near the end of last year, because I can't handle commentating for a long period of time, and when you live stream, you have to be streaming for a while. It's also harder to like commentate while you're playing the game, which is why I do commentary in post. I have thought of making exceptions because there are some games I want to let's play where I'm gonna have to pay attention to the game while commentating. I have like considered exceptions to that, like if I ever do like another Telltale game, like the other Walking Dead seasons or Game of Thrones or something, I might commentate live so I can pay more attention to what's going on. Because if you don't remember, I did struggle a little bit with commentating for The Walking Dead Season 1 and Tales from the Borderlands because of how much you have to pay attention to the game's dialogue when Let's Playing those. So, yeah. To do another Telltale game, I'm going to have to do live commentary, and that's going to be rough. It's why I've been putting off the other Walking Dead seasons, because I don't know if I want to put myself through that. Live commentary is like a lot more draining for me. When I can do commentary in post like this, it allows me to use all my energy on the commentary.
Mind stepping aside, buddy? This is an emergency.
If that makes sense, it like gives me more freedom.
No, you don't mind.
Like, I still gotta focus on the game at points, but it allows me to go off topic more and stuff like that. It allows me to come up with more to say because I'm not having my focus split between the game and the commentary. Because an issue I used to have when I used to do commentary live for games, right, is that an issue I used to have when I try to do commentary live for games, because I did start out doing that. I did commentary live for the first, I want to say, 11 parts of my Crash 4 Let's Play, I think, were live commentary. I forgot what part of that, because I didn't start doing like post commentary until midway through my Crash 4 Let's Play. All the Let's Plays I did on my old channel, which have been taken down, they don't exist anymore, don't go looking for them. The Let's Plays I did on my old channel were all live commentary. I think the first 2/3 of my Crash 4 Let's Play was live commentary. But midway through Crash 4, I switched to post commentary due to like an issue I had with my headset where I had to keep the cord completely still to not have mic issues. So I had to do commentary in post where I wasn't moving the controller, right? But I ended up sticking to that because something I realized while I was doing commentary that way is that it was a lot more fun commentating in post. I had a lot more passion for it. I had a lot more energy. My videos were more entertaining that way. When I do commentary live, it gets boring. Because here's the thing, like, you know how I come up with jokes sometimes in my Let's Plays? That's because I'm watching my gameplay back. If I'm, like, playing that live, I don't come up with jokes on the spot as easily. Like, my mind is completely focused when I'm doing post-commentary, and it allows me to get better commentary, you know? My guy! Jeez! What the fuck? This man got beef with me. What the fuck? This man got beef with me. I'm just trying to live my life.
Thank you for the mental
right?
energy, Psypop.
And he said no. And he said no. You heard what he said. He said no. I'm just trying to live my life. That man said no. He said no. Or however he says it. I forgot how, like, the big censors say it. But he said no. Like, the fuck I do to you? What the fuck did I do to you, fam? I'm just trying to live my life over here. You come in here with that now. I ain't trying to hear it. I ain't trying to hear it. No. Your ass is grass now. We taking you down. Okay. More enemies. God. The enemy encounters get better in this game, but this one was like rough. You gotta keep in mind, this is like the first major enemy encounter, because before this, you do get groups of enemies. but they're easier enemies. This is like the first hard enemy, and they're throwing him in with other enemies. So it's like a rough introduction. I think the game gets better at introducing enemies later on, because whenever it introduces a harder enemy, it'll introduce that enemy solo, and then the next time you see the enemy, it will be grouped with other enemies, you know what I mean? But this enemy, they didn't do that with. They spawned him with like 2 of those little rabbit things, right? I think the bad ideas, I think that's what they're called. They spawned him in with 2 of the bad ideas immediately. Like, they did not give this guy his solo intro like they do the hard enemies later on. And I feel like that's what makes him rough. Because if it was just him, right? Like, I'm currently playing Borderlands 2, so my mind is like battling itself, trying not to say, but other enemies are there to keep you alive, because that's how it would work in Borderlands 2. You'd have the easier enemies around so you can, like, revive yourself by killing one. That's not how this game works. I'm trying to keep that in mind. That's not how this game works. This works on regular video game logic, where all enemies add to challenge. I do love that mechanic in Borderlands, though, especially in I think that mechanic's a little better in Borderlands 3. I feel like a lot of gameplay aspects are handled better in Borderlands 3 than 2, but the reason I'm playing Borderlands 2 and not 3 for my channel is because I just enjoy 2 as an overall experience more. With 3, I just enjoy the gameplay. Like, I'm only there for the gameplay. I don't give a fuck about the story. I like a few of the characters. Like, I know people say, like, Borderlands 3 ruined Reese, but I feel like Reese isn't that bad in Borderlands 3. He's exaggerated a little bit. I feel like his dumb moments are a little more exaggerated in Borderlands 3. But it kind of just feels like what Borderlands 2 did to a lot of the Borderlands 1 characters. In the sense where it's funny, it works, you know? Because if you don't know, that's what Borderlands 2 did to Borderlands 1, like, NPCs. It added, like, it emphasized their more, like, comedic traits to make them funny. It did that to Claptrap. Actually, Claptrap had a big glow up in Borderlands 2. I'm gonna say this now. I love Claptrap as a character, I really do, but if I only played Borderlands 1, I'd hate Claptrap. I'd fucking... He's annoying in Borderlands 1. I feel like he's funny in every other Borderlands game, even 3. He's even funny in Borderlands 3, and... like, that's why I say, like, a lot of the humor in Borderlands 3 that actually annoys me is just main plot stuff. Because, like, when I say main plot stuff, I'm talking about characters like Ava, the Calypso twins, Tannis, and is it Ellie? Is that... I want to say her name's Ellie. I just saw her name in Borderlands 2. I think it's Ellie. Tannis and Ellie are mad annoying in Borderlands 3, and they're 2 of the most important NPCs in the story. And it's not because of, like... it's not because of the amount of, like, dialogue they get or anything like that, because Ellie gets a ton of dialogue in Borderlands 2 as well. Tannis less so. I mean, well... I mean, I guess you could argue this. Ellie gets a lot of dialogue in side quest in Borderlands 2 that adds up to just about the amount she gets in 3.
Mess.
But...
High Rollers Lounge? That's not good.
yeah, it kind of is just how much she is in the story with Ellie in Borderlands 3. I will say that. She's annoying in Borderlands 2 as well, but she's mainly in a few side quests. Like,
Rasputin,
you only really hear her twice.
Sorry.
Like, I think you only hear her
crash your
twice in the main
hospital
story. You're only going to hear her more if you choose to do her side
everyone's
quest. She has a
welcome to
really good
casino.
side quest in 2, though.
Without
Where you
gamblers,
start a,
how
like...
else would we make any money?
where you start a war between 2
No, you just
bandit
can't be up here because it's the
clans,
High
and it's
Rollers
really it's a really fun side quest. I almost consider recording it for my potential Borderlands 2 Let's Play, but I'm leaving out all side quests, so the Let's Play is not super long. So yeah, with Ellie in Borderlands 3, it is entirely overexposure, because her voice is grating. That's really what the annoying part of
just
her
the morgue.
character is her voice. And I'm someone from the South, so I feel like maybe it just annoys me more that it's exaggerated, but I don't entirely think that's it. Because I like Scooter, and Scooter's an exaggeration of that. I like Lucas Baker. I like all the Bakers from RE7. And their voices are exaggerated Southern accents, so, like, it's not that it's an exaggerated Southern accent, even though that kid bugged me sometimes.
What?
I just listed
much is a
4
gazillion?
characters that I love the exaggerated Southern accents for. Ellie's just a case where her voice is just annoying. That's really what it is. And, like, I feel like you get just the right amount of exposure to her in Borderlands 2, even if you do all the side quests involving her. Because a lot of her side quests don't involve her talking except at the end and start. You know, you get what I mean? Like, but then in the main story, you have, of 3, you have Ellie talking a lot. And she gets really annoying. Tannis is a whole different thing. They exaggerated Tannis' character in 3 even more. Like, I feel like in 2, she's a little funny. I kind of like her in 2. I like her in the beginning of 3. But once you, like, get to Sanctuary and stuff, she starts getting annoying. And it's not like a voice thing like Ellie. It's not overexposure or anything like that to the character. It's writing. And it's the same issue the Calypso twins and Ava have. They're just not written good.
Oops, looks like the house takes it this
And
time.
that's really what is a shame in the main story of Borderlands 3, because there's highlights. There's really good highlights. Claptrap's funny. I feel like Lilith, for the most part, is handled really well still. Like, Lilith is still great in Borderlands 3. I feel like she's the one Borderlands character that's never had a bad game. Actually, no, I can say that. Okay, no, New Tales came out. Reese has had a bad game. Okay, scratch that. Reese is pretty good in Borderlands 3. It's a slightly different interpretation of the character than in Tales from the Borderlands. And some things are exaggerated, but he's pretty funny, and I like him in 3. He's terrible in New Tales from the Borderlands, though. What the fuck they do to my boy there? Just know I'm never playing that game. I'm never buying it, never touching it.
Yes, we just want a child. More than anything
they did my boy so dirty in New Tales from the Borderlands. I am never touching that game. Okay. I feel like Maya...
of this low-down dive.
Maya, writing-wise, like, in terms of, like, her dialogue, her personality, all that, is handled really well in Borderlands 3. It's not Maya herself that's handled poorly. It's, the way they handled everything around her death.
We don't care about that.
That sucks. And I know I'm talking Borderlands 3 and
very wealthy.
Psychonauts. I know I'm talking Borderlands and a Psychonauts 2 video, but bear with me here.
Help us win a baby, and
we'll get to more Psychonauts stuff, like more topics on this game. The later we go into Let's Play. This is very much a case of I'm too early into the game to really praise all I want to praise about this game, or say that all I want to say without spoiling stuff. Because I do try to keep, like, important spoilers,
I can't seem to connect to
like, a secret in earlier parts of my Let's Plays, so that, like, if you ever want to play the game yourself, or if you've never played the game before and you're, like, seeing the story for the first time in my video, or seeing the game for yourself the first time in my video, you know? You're not getting spoiled, you know what I mean?
But you gotta believe it's possible first.
But yeah. But, like, Borderlands 3 had potential to be great. There's even, like, a scrapped animatic that handled Maya, like, a certain scene revolving around Maya's death way better. So, in the main game of Borderlands 3, in the actual game, right, you get, like, a short, brief funeral scene where you have Lilith, Tannis, Ellie, Zero, and like a few NPCs. I think Marcus is there. I want to say... No, Moxie's not there, I don't think. But no, I think I remember the only like named NPCs that were there were Marcus, Zero, Lilith, and Ellie, and Tannis, and Ava. But in the that's besides the point. I need to get what I'm talking about. In the actual game, that scene's handled poorly, right? No one says anything except Lilith, Tannis, and Ava. With Lilith and Ava, it makes sense for them to be two of the characters to talk, right? Because Lilith is like the leader of the Crimson Raiders and Sanctuary 3 and all of that, right? It makes sense she's one of the people to talk. Ava was Maya's apprentice. Of course she's going to talk. That's not the issue. I feel like them choosing Tannis to speak instead of maybe Zero, a character who literally speaks in like poetry and was Maya's friend. I really feel like that was a missed opportunity there. Like they should have just had Zero speak. That would have fixed part of the problem, having Zero speak like about Maya instead of Tannis. Because one, Zero already speaks in poetry, so like he'd have some like really insightful, you know, respectable things to say about his friend. But they have Tannis, a person Maya barely knows, because if you play Borderlands 2, you only have to interact with Tannis for the story twice, similar to Ellie. You can do some side quests, but like the only part we know is canon is that Maya talks to Tannis twice. She spends the whole game working with Zero if we are to, because here's how I headcanon, right? I headcanon the actual story of the games involved all the Vault Hunters working together. That's what I headcanon it as, at least like the main game Vault Hunters, because I know 2 in the pre-sequel have like DLC Vault Hunters and stuff like that, but I'm talking like the main Vault Hunters. So like, I'm seeing it as like Borderlands 2, Maya and Zero work together through the whole game. So literally Zero is one of Maya's best friends.
This time it's
and he's there. And he
Zero?
speaks in poetry.
What?
He would be perfect to speak on Maya, not Tannis. That would have fixed part of the issue.
Happen.
The other issue is they scrapped a well-written dialogue moment between Ava and Lilith.
I don't know what you did,
right?
but I'm a man of my word.
There's an animatic out there you can watch of it if you want to go look it up. I don't remember what it's called, but there's an animated there's an animatic of it fully voiced.
When does it start?
That would have been there instead of Ava lashing out at and blaming Lilith. If they would have had that scene in there and had Zero speak for Maya instead of Tannis,
it's just a mental baby.
Then Maya's death would have been handled pretty well. You could even like add the detail, because like Roland died in Borderlands 2 and like the entire
I got $1 gazillion.
Everybody at Sanctuary is sad about it. Like with Maya, okay, like I get it. Not everyone at Sanctuary 3 is gonna know who Maya is because different people are there now in some places. But Tannis, Ellie, Lilith, Marcus, Moxie, Zero, they all know who Maya is. Reese may know who Maya is. Maybe not, but he might have heard of Maya through like Zero, so you might get like a moment where Reese like says he's sorry about what happened to Maya or whatever. Like you could have done something with all those characters. Like you don't have to, as long as they handled like the funeral scene good. They didn't really need that because you get the point. Like that's a sad thing. People seem sad about it. Particularly, we would get to see Zero, Lilith, and Ava sad about it. But yeah, like, it would have been a neat detail just having the extra, like, the way I would have personally handled it with the NPCs, right? I would have had, like, Zero, like, if you talk to Zero, Ava, or Lilith after that, they would have, like, something sad to say and they say like something about missing Maya or whatever, etc., etc. If you go talk to Reese, whatever the planet's called, I think it's Promethea or something. You go talk to Reese there after like that scene. Reese will just be like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like he would just be like, "I'm sorry about what happened to Maya," right? Just have that one dialogue thing. It would just be a nice little detail. Hell, I think it also would have been a nice detail if like you had characters that weren't at Sanctuary show up there. Have Salvador and Axton show up because they were also Maya's friends. Have Reese show up in support of Zero because Zero's like his friend, and the guy who works for him now. Like Zero is Reese's friend and employee. I actually really love that detail. Zero is still great in Borderlands 3, by the way. I'm definitely planning on doing a Borderlands 3 Let's Play if I do go through with a Borderlands 2 one, but it won't be for, like, a while. I think it'll be, like, next season of tech plays, like, because I have a thing where I don't want to do multiple games in the same series. In the same
this evening?
season of tech plays. I'm making an exception with Resident Evil, because if I get Resident Evil Requiem, I will do it. Even though I already did RE3 Nemesis. But that will probably be it.
Haven't you seen the odds?
Hey, no one can lose forever, right?
You don't know hearts.
And they're off. Coming up to the finish line. And it's Diamond Days for the win.
That's weird. Most people usually win every time. Well, try again. Bye.
Okay, that's the last bet. Runners, to your starting gates. Prepare the patient for the exam.
Are you sure you should be racing?
My doctor told me I have to stay off this leg. But he's also my boss, and he told me that if I miss another race, I'll get fired.
What if I raced for you?
What? You do that for me?
Yes, but I can't race looking like this.
Well, there's a changing room up there. What am I saying? That's impossible. This is just...
But yeah, since this cutscene's about to end, I'll get back to what I was talking about. But like I said, there are really good highlights in Borderlands 3. There are whole sections of the story that could have worked. On their own, they kind of do work. There's
different race.
I would say the entire first, like,
I can do this
almost the entire Pandora section of the main story in Borderlands 3 works, except for the main villains. If they would have tweaked the writing of the main villains during the Pandora section, literally would be perfect. Nothing wrong with it. I feel like, okay, people do seem like they don't like what they did to Vaughn, and I'm just like, he's barely there in the main story. He's like there for a few missions, and then you never see him again unless you go do side quests, right? So it doesn't bother me that much. He's not as important to the main story as like Reese. So like if they actually had done Reese that badly, then I would have had an issue. But Vaughn's not there that long, so it's like I just don't care as much about what they did to him. So for me, personally, I feel like if they would have just done, like, the twins better in the couple scenes they have during the Pandora section of 3, then that whole section would just be flawless, pretty much. I would like it. I would think it's well done. I feel like everything involving Reese was well done. Even though, like, they did change Reese up a little bit. Some people don't like that. I love it. I don't like it as much as Tails Reese, but I do enjoy it. And I like the way he's written. I like the way Katagawa is written. I love the whole thing between them. I love, like, I thought it was hilarious when Reese started like getting upset over like frozen yogurt places and stuff. That actually had me laugh a little bit. I liked Lorelai. Like, I liked everything involving them. It's just when the twins came into the picture, when it came to things on Promethea, where like I had an issue again. And that's the thing, and Ava to a lesser extent, but she's not really too annoying on Promethea aside from that one scene we won't be talking about. Not the funeral one, but the one before that. There is that one scene, but yeah.
All I have to do now is place hearts, and then take hearts.
Point being,
race.
the first two areas of the game are really good. It's just the twins that drag it down for the most part. There is like the Ava stuff, yeah, but I feel like it's mainly the like twins as the main villain. And look, I think the concept for them was great.
You never learned.
I think they could have ran with
This
that.
time for sure.
My issue with it is
That's the last bet.
they didn't do it how like Borderlands would have probably. There's a way you could have done it that would have felt natural. I feel like if you like made them a combination of a threat and a parody of like streamers,
all this crowd cares about is heart's
the
content.
joke would have landed, and they would have been menacing. Because like the threat part, that's not what they did. They did really on the nose, exaggerated stuff. Like not like I know I said parody, but parody's not exactly that. Parody would be like South Park type shit. They did like some modern Family Guy levels of bad humor type shit. Like, I feel like if they would have like went for parody humor instead of like random humor, and they would have like focused a little more on how intimidating the twins can be and their power and stuff, they would have been good. But they went for like random humor. That's where I don't think it works. Because yeah, Borderlands has a lot of random humor, but that random humor usually has like
Don't forget to tip your nurses,
something
you
like
cheapskates.
wit behind it. And that's why I think those like twins would have been better as like if they went for parody humor, because there would have been some wit behind the jokes. I don't think you could really do random humor with their concept and it be witty, you know, because like there's not much random humor you can get from that. Not as much as like the concept for like Handsome Jack, right? And I feel like they learned from that. I feel like they learned a little too much from that, because like, look, I could talk about the issues for, like I've heard about Borderlands 4 all day. I'm waiting for a sale, a good sale for 1, for me to have the money for 2, and for 3, I'm waiting until like some patches are released because of some of these issues. But I will say this, I think they did overcorrect with what I've seen of Borderlands 4 just a little bit. I think the writing in Borderlands 4 is really good. I think it's better than Borderlands 3, I think it's better than the pre-sequel. I think it's better than Borderlands 1. It's probably the second best writing I've seen in the series after Tales from the Borderlands. Actually, no, third, after Tales from the Borderlands and Borderlands 2, because I do think Borderlands 2 is a little better written. But that's because it's lacking the comedy. If it would have like included a little bit of more comedy in the style of like Tales from the Borderlands or Borderlands 2, but focused more on the serious stuff, I think they would have struck a nice balance. And they almost have that. Because there is comedy from what I've seen in Borderlands 4. But I feel like they dialed it back just a little too much. I hope like whenever they inevitably do like Borderlands 5, I hope they like dial back the seriousness slightly and increase the humor slightly, just to get that perfect balance. Because they're almost there. I feel like they're almost there. And yeah, Borderlands 2 and Tales from the Borderlands leaned more into the humor than the seriousness in both those games. But I do feel like a perfect Borderlands game would get like an even amount. Whereas those two games lean more into humor. Like, if they released a Borderlands game that got, like, an even amount of humor and seriousness, I feel like if they were able to get like an even amount of seriousness
Welcome to
and
Palinko, game of
humor
luck and
in a
skill.
Borderlands game,
Can
it would
you
be
get the
peak
patient to
Borderlands
take her
right.
bitter pill?
And I feel like they're almost
Skill?
there. They just need
Looks
to
like it's
add a
all
little
luck.
more humor, dial back
Oh,
the
it
seriousness
is,
a little
but
bit
it
for
takes
Borderlands
skill
5.
to do it and avoid a serious head injury.
That's the way I see it, because I
how do
think
I-
like
Good
getting a
luck.
perfect balance of comedy and seriousness is actually like getting the perfect balance of comedy and seriousness
Careful in
is
there.
actually like the best way to go for Borderlands, and it could make the game better than Borderlands 2. I know that's like a wild thought, but like I know there are gonna be people like actually this is never gonna be better than Borderlands 2 with a worst take ever. There's gonna be those types of people, but I do want the series to reach a higher height than Borderlands 2. Because Borderlands 2 is fantastic. But like, there's nothing wrong in wanting like a series you enjoy to do better, right? Like, you're always gonna want that. And like, here's the thing: I don't think they need to like make a masterpiece or anything. It would just be nice to have a Borderlands game that can top 2, because 2 came out over a decade
looks
ago.
like an injectable. But really, he's just
Borderlands 2 is 13
What are you
years
two
old.
doing here?
Keep that in mind. It
You
is
think we're
13
going to let
years
you go
old. It's
alone
about
and get
time
all
they
the
topped
extra
it.
credit points?
I'm just here.
I feel like that's like the main issue
Well,
with
stay
current,
away
like,
from this
with
game.
like since
There's only
then.
one spot on the
Because
board
like
that
Tales
pays
from the
out,
Borderlands
and it's
kind
totally
of struck
blocked.
that gold with the
It's
writing.
like
It
our
kind of
hearts.
did Borderlands 2 style writing, but a little better. But they kind of missed it with
I'll bet I
everything
could-
else since Borderlands
Morris?
2. The pre-sequel,
Norma?
3, New Tales especially.
Where'd they go?
4 feels like okay. 4 has amazing writing from what I've seen. I'm not trying to like downplay it. I'm just saying it's not the Borderlands style writing that I feel like.
to me if you want some
It's not the Borderlands style writing I would be looking for, right? I would still enjoy the game for what it is if they release some patches and it does get a good sale within like the next half year or something. I could enjoy the game for what it is. Kind of like I do for 3, but a little less than 3 or a little more than 3, because 3 has me
Wouldn't the
ignoring
wisest choice
NPCs.
be,
I don't
you
think
know,
I'd be doing that
not
in
gambling?
4, right?
Sometimes the
When
path
I
to
play
enlightenment is
Borderlands
not
3,
straight
I
and
often tune out Ava and the twins on
Now I'm just
replay because
reinforcing
they
their old
annoy
bad
me.
thought pattern.
Literally, like my main gripes with they could have handled
Path
those
to
3
enlightenment
characters
is
way
not
better.
straight and simple.
I love how like all my
Oops.
problems with Borderlands
Now I'm
3
just
always tie
waiting.
back
Maybe you
to
should
Ava.
quit while
and
you're
the twins.
ahead.
It's like
Says I'm
everything else would have been
So
okay
much money into this machine.
if those 3 characters were handled better.
Actually, I think it's
I
important
also
to
feel
know
like they
when to quit,
gave Ava
especially
too
when
much
playing
story
Loki
importance.
with
They
your
should have
grandma.
just had her like fade into the background like a lot of other NPCs do after you like move
Sounds
on
like
from the
you've got a
funeral
method.
scene, right? They should have had her fade into the
secret is
background
you
for
have
most
to
of the
listen
story,
to the
but they didn't do
colors.
that.
Let the rainbow of light
Which
lead
sucks.
you to the pot of gold.
Because if they would have just done the funeral scene right,
That
and then
doesn't
had her
sound like a
fade
smart way to
into the
make decisions to
background
me.
for the rest of the story, I feel like
There are some misguided ideas floating around this room.
she would have been more likable for
Smarter
one, but that would have
decisions.
left more room for them to do something with her in Borderlands
Is to
4.
lose.
Something I noticed in Borderlands 4 is she's not in it. They could have used her as a returning
Is to
NPC
lose.
if they just dialed her back and actually fucking gave a shit about how she was written.
I think I could win this.
Because she
if I
is
could
the
just make
worst
up my
character
mind.
in the game. Tyrene Calypso is
Sometimes the
a
path
good
to
runner-up,
enlightenment is not straight and simple. That's
but she is definitely the
trick
worst
isn't
character in
just
the
making
game. And there's a
decisions,
reason
but
I think
making the
Tyrene
right
is
one.
worse than Troy. I will get into that probably more when I get to Borderlands 2,
little
when I get to
judgment.
that Borderlands
There's
2
some
Let's Play,
progress.
even though like they're not in that game, that's Borderlands 3. But you know what I mean? It'll be
I
more
wish
on
they
topic
knew that
then.
sometimes walking away
Um,
is the best choice.
But the main reason I do think Troy's a little better than Tyrene is because he's dialed back a little more at moments.
my own paycheck.
And he's actually got moments where he's a serious threat, right? Like where he feels like a serious threat. You don't really get that with Tyrene until like at the very end of the game, and by then it's just kind of too little, too late. You know, like it just feels like it's not.
Really, the most important
There's no
thing
point
is to know when
to
to
it, right?
quit.
It just feels like there's no point to it. Like, what's the point if like
in someone's mind is what I need is
you already spent the whole game making her an annoying joke, right? And they almost had like. I'm not gonna lie, Troy is annoying, and they did do Troy bad too, but the thing with Troy is, he was so close to being a good character. With Tyrese, they fucked her up all throughout the game. With Troy, it's just the fact that they didn't go all in with like his threat level, and that they kept doing like the random humor with Tyrese. That's really what dragged him down. But Tyrene's the main antagonist, the actual main antagonist. Like, she should have been way better. Troy could have worked with just
one of those TV judges to tell me what to do.
Because he's the secondary villain. Tyrene's the main villain.
As long as you do it with proper judgment.
She was done so dirty. Like, I kind of feel bad for her, because she, like, they could have done her
I guess it's not really
so
bad
great,
to quit.
but they just didn't.
If it's the right
And it
thing
sucks
to do
too,
at the
because
moment.
like, it seems like every time Borderlands tries to do like a female main antagonist, they like butcher it, and that's kind of sad because like I kind of want a good female Borderlands antagonist. There is one exception, right? There's the antagonist from Borderlands, from Tales of the Borderlands, but that's not written by the writers of the Borderlands games. That's written by the Telltale team, right? So like, can't even give them credit there. I forgot her name, but she's like the one lady that's like a major antagonist from that episode 3 onwards in Tales from the Borderlands. Like, that's who I'm talking about, right?
I think making a better one here is
That's who I'm
actually
talking
the
about.
only way out.
She is like, she's a good antagonist, but she's like the only good main antagonist. She's the only good main female antagonist in Borderlands, and that kind of sucks because we need better female antagonist representation in the games. Representation is probably not the right word, but you know what I mean. Like, I'm someone who likes female antagonists and female protagonists when they're done really well. I love Jill Valentine for the most part. I do think she's a little weak in parts of RE3 Remake, but I love her otherwise. I think she's great in almost every RE game, both versions of RE3, Revelations, RE1 Remake. I think she's great. That's just one example. Like, I love female protagonists, but I also love like a good female antagonist. I love Neapolitan from Ruby. She's not like the main antagonist of the show, but she got a volume where she was the main antagonist, and Neo is just one of the best female villains in fiction. Like, it's just fact. She's one of the best female villains in fiction. It's crazy too because the female villain that like the writers of Ruby want to focus on, Cinder, is fucking horribly handled. But then you got Neo, who is just fantastic. They really chose the wrong person to like focus on. They should have made Neo the focus villain going forward and just killed Cinder off or something. Like, I know I'm getting onto Ruby now, but like, that's what they should have done. Let's be real. But moving back to like more examples, like, let me think of other examples here. I think Nina Cortex is a good villain from the Crash games. I think she was great in Crash of the Titans. I know people get onto the Titans games for the redesigns and stuff, but I do like the writing of those games. I think they're pretty funny. They're not like the classic Crash style writing that we got in like the games before Twinsanity, as well as like Crash 4. But it's pretty funny and it's in character for a lot of characters. I think they handled Tiny poorly, but aside from him, right?
Now that her heart is
Nina was great in that game.
I want another shot.
Okay, I'll just need you to bend over and...
No, at the
That's
game.
another example here. Sage
Really?
from Sonic Frontiers. She's a great antagonist. I feel like there's an anime example I have like on the tip of my tongue that I just can't recall at the moment. Like, I know it's going to scream at me when I remember it, but it's just it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember it at the moment. Juko Inoshima from Danganronpa. And like, here's the thing, I don't mess with Danganronpa fans for good reason. I've heard some like not so great things about the fandom, so I stay out of it for the most part. I do like the Danganronpa stories though. I like the games, I like all that stuff.
The boss finds out about this.
And I think Juko Inoshima is a great antagonist. That's who was on the tip of my tongue. I had to stop the commentary for a moment to make sure I got the name in the video, but that's who it was. But yeah, I'm going to be ending this off after this cutscene, basically. When we return next time, we're going into a boss fight, I believe. Or are we not? Okay, it seems like we're not. I don't think. We'll see when we get back. I'm gonna have to add like a little like screenshot here because my commentary is going over. But yeah, we're gonna be ending off the video here. Bye.